Let It Fly. Thanks for joining us. If you're joining us on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button to share that with everybody. Remember, you can come down here to Let It Fly. You can pop on one of the headsets. You can listen to the whole show. My co-host tonight, Mr. Josh Jones. Nice work on all the promos tonight.
I might have a half a voice, but I'm here, bro. I'm here.
And we're going to jump right into Coach's Corner tonight, sponsored by Equitable Bank. We have Lucas Vargas, video coordinator for Creighton, here tonight. We're happy to have him. His first Bluejay Banter appearance. I don't mean to put any more pressure on you, but I love the long sleeve baby blues bay.
Hey, shout out John McHugh. He takes care of us.
Yeah.
Wait. Take care of us.
I told you I've got one picked out for Christmas already.
There you go.
With the old logo. It's cool. Lucas, thanks for joining us. First, just why don't you, because a lot of people probably have seen you around the program. They haven't really heard you talk when you've been in the new position yet. Just tell us about what you do for the Creighton basketball program.
No, absolutely. And first off, thanks for having me, guys.
Sure.
Looking forward to this all season long. But, so I've been here for 2 years now. This will be my third season with the team. Been a grad assistant the last 2 years, so kind of got to do a little bit of everything from player development to film to analytics to operations. So kind of got to see how everything works from the bottom up, and really spent a lot of time with Casey the last couple of years, and he's taught me a lot. I really appreciate everything that he taught me to prepare me for a chance to step into the new role. And really what that entails a lot of now now it really gets rolling with games, kind of in charge of all the film, the scouting prep, making sure coaches have everything they need to get ready for the game. Same thing with the players, making sure they have film to watch up on their huddle accounts, and just make sure all the presentations are good to go. And I'm involved with some of the scouts. Murph and I kind of split half and half on the defensive side of the ball. So it's really good. It's really fun. And I love the X's and O's strategy of the game. So for me, get to be doing what I love to do.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. So let's just talk. Okay. So we just got done with the game. We got North Dakota State coming up Saturday. Do you have everything, pretty much everything you're going to have? Obviously they played last night, so it's a little advantage, right? So do you have everything all lined up? Like, okay, here's the whole package.
Yeah, so North Dakota State, we have an exhibition game and then last night's game to watch. So I've already got that all labeled up. It's on Coach's computer already. So he goes home tonight, he can watch this game, and he can jump right in North Dakota State tomorrow. And, we try and stay kind of ahead of it by a game like that, so that, coaches, they kind of go with the next game coming up, but then the sports staff, we're trying to work that next game ahead so that everything's ready. And then I'll be moving on to Texas Southern pretty soon after just wait.
You're going to skip Iowa?
Murph's got Iowa.
Oh, okay. Yeah. let's tick off all the Hawkeye fans right off the bat. And so do you not only scouting the teams ahead, do you have to put any packages together for what we just did tonight too?
Yeah, so I do a lot of analytics work as well. So we'll go back through a lot of things that we care about are ball reversals and paint touches and advantages and some passing stats. So I'll go back through with some of the managers, some of the other people we work with, and kind of go through, label that stuff up, and send out a report that gets to Coach probably tomorrow afternoon, and that kind of recaps the game.
Sure.
So then we can use that data, look forward, and move on.
Do you keep track of any stats? How many times Stephen Ashworth hits a shot and doesn't hit the rim?
We might have to add that one into the report.
Not very many.
Hey, man, first of all, if my voice is off, it's because I was doing what you said. I was timeouts and halftime. We was out there working. Plus, my son, I coached him today.
Did you win?
He got a couple of and-ones, 4 years old. He did win. We care about wins, just to let you know. Shout out to Ross, the Godfather. So I'm kind of, if I sound like the Godfather.
Yeah, Ross is not going to be with us for the next 2 or 3 games. He's going to be out of town, but that's okay. We got Josh here. We're good.
So tell me this. How do you get into the position that you're in? You obviously, no disrespect, you're not that tall. At what point did you say, you know what? I want to be a part of the game, but I want to impact it in another way. How did you get to the point where you're at?
That's a great question. I think so in high school, I like basketball. A lot of people like basketball. So, I went to high school and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make the varsity basketball team someday. And that didn't really happen, but coach gave me an opportunity in high school to be a student manager for the team. And Yeah, I think everybody, especially in sports, if you have a positive experience with it, I think you have one person at least that really impacts that and makes you want to keep going.
Dang.
And
yeah, you're right.
Coach Pittsford for me at Anderson High School, he said, yeah, I want you to be our student manager, and it wasn't just filling up water bottles. It was getting to do stats and film, and like he really respected me in that position.
A legit manager.
Yep, and I mean, he let me do a lot. He treated me like I was part of the team, and I just felt appreciated in that role. And he was a manager at Texas, so I was like, I want to do that. And I got a chance. I went to Michigan for undergrad. I got a chance to be.
Who was on the squad?
I was a manager on the women's team actually.
Oh,
okay.
No, I'm just playing. I'm playing.
But we had a great run there. We made the Sweet 16 my senior year for the first time in school history.
I remember that.
That was really special to be a part of.
One of your players was like one of the best players.
So Naz Hillman. She's playing.
She was nice. You remember her or no?
Yeah.
She was nice.
She's playing in the WNBA now. She had a 50-point game one time that year. So that was, again, just a really positive experience being a student manager, and I got to do a lot. Got to work with some great people, especially the other managers, and I just wanted to keep going in basketball. And
I don't think people recognize how important he is.
Oh, the video coordinator is really important.
Hey, respect.
I appreciate that.
You gotta need what's your ultimate goal?
I mean, I love the video and the analytics side of the game. Like I said earlier, I love the strategy of the game. So I think the more I can stay in the film room, the analytics side of things, and the
higher you go.
Probably stay in that department. Maybe get into front office stuff someday down the road. But those are probably some of my goals.
Bob Myers.
We'll see where it goes,
Yeah. Now, Josh, just so you know, like when I don't think I've ever said this on Bluejay Banter in all the years I've done this.
Okay.
When I was in high school, like I was on the team, but I didn't play much, right? I always wanted to be a coach.
Wow.
That's what I wanted to be. First it was high school, and then later on I was like, man, I'd rather be a college coach, man. This is really cool.
Yeah.
And I just never got there. I went to college, and then I got diverted, and life comes in the way and so forth. But yeah, I wanted it. I wasn't that good at the game, but I knew the game.
For sure. But that's like Luke said. If you love it, you'll find a way to be a part of it. And look at this today.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I think people, there's so many other things than just the game that, like, if you care about it and if you want to be a part of it and you work hard enough and you find a way you got to find the window of opportunity.
That's why my voice is hoarse.
Yep.
For real, I'll feel you.
All right, well, let's segue into the game tonight. Man, just everything you could hope for, right?
Absolutely, yep. Great start to the season. I mean, things were clicking on offense. It was great to see us shoot the ball well, and I mean, that's how you want to start off. So,
I had to chuckle because of the Jason Green injury and the decision to redshirt the number of guys that we redshirted. It harkens me back to a story I told somebody tonight at the game, the Lee Corso story. Lee Corso says, you never, back in the day, now this was when Tom Osborne was coaching Nebraska, he said, you never want to play Nebraska at home. And everybody thought, well, why wouldn't you want to play him in Bloomington? He goes, no, because I'm playing him in Bloomington, and they're just kicking my tail. I look over at Tom. He's like, I only got 60 guys. I have number 60 in there. He goes, you go play them in Lincoln. They got 100 guys.
Yeah.
They'll roll in all these guys. Same thing tonight. I mean, the A&M coach probably looked over and Matt goes, everybody I got's in there, man.
Exactly.
I can't.
Like, man, call off the dogs. I did. Got a question about that. So, Jason Green, we mentioned him. Do you feel like there will be a point of time, and this is no shade against Mason or Isaac, that we're going to need him pivotally as a dog, from the forward position? Like, without him right now, are you worried about these early games?
Yeah, first off, it's unfortunate anytime injury happens. But Jason's injury, I feel like, really came at an unfortunate time. I feel like he had a really good summer coming off his redshirt year. I thought he showed some stuff in the Bahamas. And then, the fall was coming, and he was starting to get into a rhythm. And obviously going back and forth between the different fours at practice. I mean, he's just different. I think Mason and Isaac are similar in some certain ways, but Jason offers a little bit of a different look, and we're going to need that against different matchups. Yeah. I mean, you think about the Big East, some of the teams that we're going to play down the way, and like Jason, if he comes back from that injury, which he's still staying in shape, so if he's able to get back to where he was right before he got hurt, and then he's going to have to find his rhythm obviously into games and into practice again, but he offers a different look that is going to be important, and we're going to need it.
What's his prognosis?
I think a couple weeks, hopefully by the month tops.
He's got the stitches out now, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned Isaac and Mason, because I was noticing tonight, got to thinking, wow, we've got a guy that doesn't miss from the corner. We got a guy that doesn't miss from the top of the key, and all at the same position. Two different guys, right?
Yeah.
And two different totally body types.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, Isaac, to that point, Jason unfortunately goes out with injury, but Isaac has really gotten better over that fall too. And, I think he's getting better every game, and I think it's a challenge for him too to come from Virginia from a redshirt year as well and have to adjust to a very different style of play and practice. And I think he's embracing it. He's trying to take all the coaching to heart, and I mean, he shoots the ball just as well as anybody else. So, when he's out there, he's a threat, and the other team's got to guard him.
We're talking with Lucas Vargas, video coordinator here on Coach's Corner, sponsored by Equitable Bank. Kind of to a video thing, I thought it was good tonight too. Like, teams are going to look at this game and go, okay, they really, made a big attempt to kind of shut down anything inside the Kalkbrenner, like double them, front them, do all these things. Yeah, exactly. So now our team's going to say, okay, well, that obviously didn't work.
Right.
So now you wonder, like, the next, if North Dakota State comes in, they don't have a lot of size and they're very young. Now are they going to go, maybe let's guard the perimeter and now we can get the inside going?
Yeah, Josh, you said it. I mean, pick your poison. Like, there's 4 guys out there that can shoot around Kalk, and I mean, he's working as a passer. They try to double him a few times tonight, and he gets it out, and the ball gets moving around. And I mean, on the bench, you guys probably couldn't hear it, but there's a few times where guys are catching it, and we're all yelling shoot. And
Josiah missed pass one up.
Ashworth did too.
They're being
I know Mac was upset he didn't shoot one.
almost too unselfish,
Yeah,
like we want you guys to shoot it. So
the vibe is more so like everybody eats, obviously, but it's like we're not really worried about Trey getting 22 a game and stuff. We just hit the open man. And
I don't think so. I don't think that it's been like that at all this summer, this fall. I mean, this team has really bought into the unselfishness that it takes to play the way that we do. I think it takes a very specific type of mentality as a player to fit into the offense, but to like maximize it. To really like make it its very best, you have to be very unselfish and lack an ego. And all 5 of those starters, I mean, they're celebrating with each other, they're rooting for each other, they're passing to each other, and it's pretty awesome to watch.
Let me ask right before you say this.
No, go ahead.
I don't want it to slip my mind. Are we going to live and die by the 3 though? I remember last year there were times where we lost games because we didn't shoot well, and then also when we didn't have Kalkbrenner. But like, will this be a scenario where we can shoot, and so we just gonna stick to it because we know that's what we can do? But are we gonna have any type of inside presence outside of Kalkbrenner from the guards?
Yeah, I mean, I think tonight it showed a little bit. But I mean, Trey is a dynamic ball screen player, and he can get himself going. He got to his kill spots in the paint a few times tonight, and I mean, he didn't really need to a ton, I would say.
Nah.
But he's a guy that like he can get to his spots, and he's comfortable doing that. And I think his whole team is comfortable with him doing that as well. Baylor's shown the ability to get to the paint, make some things happen. So I think we have some other options too that we can use.
Okay.
But I also think we're confident in our shooters, and we're confident that that's going to be consistent for us.
Dang.
I'm glad you brought up Trey. I've seen this in practice, and obviously you have too. And I'm trying to describe to people. I don't know a better way to describe it, but he just looks. His whole game, his mid-range game, he looks so much smoother this year and so much controlled and comfortable. Am I right on with that? I mean,
I think you're right. I mean, I think these guys are all older. I mean, I think it's you guys got used to watching Trey play as a freshman, and then like as a sophomore, and like these guys were young, and like now they're old. And it's kind of impressive to think like that Mason and Trey are the youngest guys in our starting lineup.
Yeah.
And like they've been here for a while.
But what about this? How much did R2 and Kaluma have to do with Trey not being able to beat Trey?
Well, I think those guys, like, they also take another year. I mean, you get another year to think about it, to develop your game. Like, Trey went to the NBA Combine, and he saw what it looked like, and he went through that whole process, which is pretty intensive, working with the agencies and just that whole tryout process. And like, he definitely came back a different player from that than when he left. And that's a big step for him.
All right. So last question. Let's look ahead to Saturday. North Dakota State comes in. They've been a quote unquote power in the Summit over the years. They only have one senior, and Skungberg the other night had last night had 25 points in their overtime win over Western Michigan. What have you seen on film from him?
Yeah, he really got going in the second half. Their whole team did, really, and they can shoot it. Really what stood out to me was their offensive rebounding presence, how hard they went to the glass, and, I mean, that's what tied the game to go to overtime last night. They rebounded a missed free throw, went length at the court, missed the three, and kid came flying with a putback that forced overtime, and then they kept going from there. So
yeah.
They're a team that I think is really good for us to play. I think it's a good look as we get ready for the rest of the season, which is you're using the non-conference to do. But it's a team that we got to respect, and we got to show up on Saturday ready to play against.
I think that's good because I thought tonight we battled really well on the boards, but there was a stretch there where it was in the second half where I thought they kind of out-battle us a little bit. And so if we see that for 40 minutes, that's going to be really good for us going forward.
Yep, yeah, and I mean, the Big East is as physical a league as there is in the country, so we're going to play a team that just rebounded 50% of their misses the other night. And, I mean, if we're not ready to play, that's how they won the game on second chance points. So that translates to anyone you play.
Lucas, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. And we just want to mention that Lucas's segment tonight on Coach's Corner was sponsored by Equitable Bank. Been here since 1882, and as the years have gone by and times have changed, Equitable Bank has evolved with technology and providing new and improved services to customers, always offering superior customer service and satisfaction. They have two great locations in Elkhorn and also in Omaha, in Old Mill, south of the Schwab headquarters. Equitable Bank, they do answer the phone on the first ring. They're the bank of Bluejay Banter, and we appreciate them as a sponsor. Thank you. It's Equitable Bank. We take banking personally, and we want to thank Lucas for joining us tonight on Coach's Corner. What did you think of the game, Josh?
I think that I was inspired. Why is not even thinking about the score. I'm just thinking about from where we were at to where we want to go. How are the assets on our roster right now going to get us there? We got a balanced team. Everybody can shoot. And I feel like as the game went on, like everyone started to like get in their groove. That's what I think. I think we're here. We've arrived. I believe obviously we're not as good as we want to be when it comes to March, but I think I see a glimpse of it right now. I see the glimpses.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do. I mean, you had to be, I think about the national guys who were, watching all those games last night, not as many tonight.
Right.
And obviously, they're probably going to tune into Creighton a little bit to see how the number 8 team in the country looks, and you had to be impressed with the way we looked.
Exactly. I just can't believe, like, how balanced it is. And with Ashworth, like, we haven't even emphasized enough about how he impacts the game. Then Dosler. Like, the way he played today, like everybody, it wasn't about everybody scoring. I just kind of seen a team that is going to be really hard to beat because you got to pick your poison.
Yeah, and I've been telling people in practice that I've seen
Dotzler's
fearless going in against Kalkbrenner in practice, every practice. He goes in hard. He's not afraid to lay it in. So, and I'm glad the fans got to see some of that tonight.
Yeah, right. Exactly,
just a well-rounded thing, but let's talk about unsung hero tonight. Tonight's going to be a tough one because we had a lot of guys that came off the bench and played really well. Who do you got? Do you got a nominee?
I'm thinking. You know what? Honestly, I want to hear what you got to say first.
I've actually got, it's hard to narrow it down. Obviously Josiah could be one.
Yeah.
If you really want to go the true meaning of unsung, okay?
I know where you're going with this.
You could go Fran Farabello tonight because he played a lot of minutes.
Yes.
He was out there almost being a point guard at times when that second group was in and that second group played 12 minutes.
I think he's a guy.
Yeah.
I think Fran tonight showed how he's a vet and how he can put everybody in their spots and how even not shooting the ball, he can impact the game.
Right. Exactly. And now look,
agree.
We had a lot of other choices. Two guys that also, obviously, Jonathan Lawson.
Lawson.
Because I love him.
He's a gamer.
And tonight he showed, he wasn't hitting the three very much, but he showed what else he could do.
Right.
And then, gosh, you got to be just so impressed with how hard Fred works in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think Freddie, he's accepting the challenge now. I think this year he understands that he has to pick up where Kalkbrenner leaves off, and he's going to fight as hard as he can to make sure that he does not, like, if you want to say, like, disappoint anybody. He knows we're relying on him this year. He has to do what he has to do.
Worst call of the game, there really wasn't any bad calls by the referee.
No. It was one of those games.
Okay, so let me ask you this from a promotional standpoint. The guy putting the ball from one end of the court to the other, the hole looked pretty small.
Yes.
What does he win when he makes that?
Truthfully?
Yeah.
$5,000.
Woo!
$5,000. Sorry, my voice is out.
But that, I mean, so the hole is fairly small.
Yes.
You know.
But we're gonna up the ante. I can't give it away.
Okay, I got you. I just wanted to know what the prize was
because I see where you're going. You're like, man, that hole is small. It got to be a big prize.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad we gave some more Happy Meals away tonight.
Yeah, I know. Ronald McDonald House has been great. Wait till Saturday.
Ooh.
We got something else we're giving away.
And I gotta say this now because I couldn't think of it in the last show. I love the halftime thing with Connor Happer.
Oh, okay.
That's outstanding.
Yeah, me too.
It's great. He kind of updates us on all the scores going on. He has a highlight thing. Yep. He tells about, hey, this is the next game coming up. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I just love it. That's great. I remember there was a time where we just used to read the scores on the screen. And you would get reactions, and people go, what?
Yeah.
Now he's actually telling you what's happening.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love it. I love it. Jay's win tonight, I don't even think we've mentioned the score here. We've been talking for a half hour. 105-54.
Yeah.
So they had him doubled up most of the game. We were like, ooh, can we keep that? And I said, no, we got to have one stop and score again, and we didn't get that last stop. But still, pretty damn impressive.
This. Even before the game, my voice is not hoarse because of the game. Did you know I coached my son?
I did know that. I did know that. I heard that before the game.
Oh, my gosh. We were talking about it the whole game. I was screaming and coaching him at the same time because he was making plays I couldn't believe. He had a nice and one. He had a couple of steals. He was firing around.
How old is he?
4.
Wait, he's playing a game and he's 4 years old?
He's playing up, man. It's my son. Yes. It's not just anybody's son. It's my son. So hopefully the basketball gods can allow his games not to be on the same day as a Creighton
so you can save your voice.
Thank you.
I'm going to have to bring some lozenges for you.
Right.
But, yeah, it was great talking with Lucas about the film because that's kind of the part of, I think, of the game that fans don't even think about.
Right.
Man. And there's so much work involved in that.
When fans are coaching from the stands, they don't really understand the schemes. They just see something not happening and they question why. Well, for the fans that don't know, there is film that's actually taken during practice. And you actually can watch film about practice and during practice, and then you watch film of the games. There's a lot that goes into it. Lucas's job is just as important as Coach Mack's.
Yep.
100%.
And I can tell you, I've been to a lot of practices this year, and most of them start out with a film session, and some of them have been right in at Kyle Korver Court, right on the court, because they have a big TV screen on the one wall. Exactly. And it was interesting because then we got, when they're in CHI, they go back in the locker room. We don't get part of that. Right. There, you get to see kind of what goes on, and it's a pretty good critique of what goes on. It's not all, hey, you did a great job there. Sometimes like, man, you got to get out on that guy, or you got to watch that screen coming. Right. And we talked about that in practice, and you can just see them all standing there going, man, I hope my name's not called.
That was me.
But Lucas has a huge job, and we're really grateful for him, and thanks that he came by tonight. We were mentioning about the opponent preview. We were talking about North Dakota State. They had an overtime win last night over the Western Michigan Broncos of Kalamazoo, Michigan. I know that for very fact. I've actually been to a Western Michigan game because my daughter and grandkids live in Kalamazoo, so there you go.
What's it like out there?
It's pretty similar to Omaha, really.
Okay. Is everybody nice like Omaha?
Yes. They have their winters, they have more snow.
Okay.
Much more humid. Maybe not as much sun, more humidity and clouds because they're in between two lakes.
Makes sense.
But, temperature's pretty moderate. Right. Very beautiful country. Beautiful country around there. But, so North Dakota State went on the road and won.
One senior.
Yeah, North Dakota State, yeah. Broden Skunberg, 25 points last night. They had a JUCO transfer come off the bench, Jakari White. He had 15. But it was pretty balanced scoring beyond those two. And they have a lot of sophomores. There's not a whole lot of what I saw on the roster looking over. Wasn't a lot of transfers. These are just kids that are sophomores, juniors, freshmen that are playing. So a good scouting report by Lucas saying, they're going to shoot the ball. And they've always been, North Dakota State's always had good shooters. They always have. But, and kind of along that same vein, they've always been a team that just battles the heck out of you on the boards.
Exactly.
And so I think that's really good for her. I was talking the other night about picking at the flaws. There's one. I think we did a really good job for the most part tonight.
Yeah.
But I can see some games where maybe we're not just as tough on the boards as we have to be, especially those guards coming back, flowing back in and getting rebounds. And so it'll be interesting to see Saturday how well we do that.
I agree. I think sometimes I look at Kalkbrenner, and I wonder how does he feel when little guys run up under him for rebounds.
Yeah.
And I think with the guards that we got, we're tough, but I'm just not sure how we're going to be from the 4 spot rebounding. The reason why I say that is for the simple fact that I just look at Isaac Trout, I look at Mason Miller, and I don't know, I just kind of I just think of Jason Green. I don't know, I'm waiting for the dog to come out of them. I feel like they can rebound just because they're athletic, but, I just want to make sure that 4 spot is where it needs to be for the Big East play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought tonight, though, as the game kind of wore on, Mason got a little more aggressive on the boards. I was happy to see that.
He's comfortable. I mean, I don't know if he'll start the whole season. I think he
probably will.
I think,
Mac kind of, once he sets that lineup, it's hard for you to change that lineup.
Well, I guess I'm just trying to say that I feel like he's way more comfortable now, obviously, than he was last year. But I think he's trying to do more than what's expected of him. I just really see him trying to do more.
Yeah. So just remember, 1 o'clock tip on Saturday. Come on down here to Let It Fly for the game. Have some food, have some beverages, and head on over to CHI. Then when it's over, come back here. You can pop on the headphones. You can listen to our post-game show, as well as maybe watch some football while we're doing it.
I'll have my voice back, I promise. I'll have my voice.
I do want to just touch on a couple things that happened tonight.
Yeah.
Okay? So, number one, we now have 986 consecutive games making a three-pointer.
Dang.
That goes all the way back. Listen to how far this goes back to Illinois State in 1993. Wow, that's a long time ago. So that's an incredible streak, 986. Hey, we're going to have the player profile coming up. We got Brock Weiss coming in a second. So that is sponsored by Caremanagers, our title sponsor of our shows this year, and we're so happy that they are. When you're in need of care of an injured, ill, or senior loved one, reach out to Caremanagers Home Care. Their agency is comprised of certified caregivers who have many years of experience. You'll receive versatile, flexible, and customized care for your comfort, peace of mind, and well-being. And it does give you a lot of peace of mind, comfort, and well-being to know that they're being taken care of on a daily basis by highly trained professionals. So if that need comes about for you, please give them a call. 402-532-1383 or go to caremindersnebraska.com. And now it is time for player profile. And tonight we have Mr. Brock Weiss.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
How are you, man?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. So we want to ask you a ton of questions.
More with him, my voice is kind of shy.
I guess, first of all, people still talk to you about the, I know at Media Day, that's what I talked about. Still talked about the double-double in the Bahamas, right?
Yes, sir.
How did that feel on the first time you stepped on a court in a Creighton jersey to get that?
Honestly, I had no idea after the game. I didn't know how many rebounds I had. I knew I had like around 10 points, but And then I got interviewed after the game. They're like, how does it feel to have your first game as a Creighton Bluejay, a double-double? I was like, I had no idea.
You're supposed to say, that's what I do.
So this is probably the first time a lot of Creighton fans have gotten to see you up close and personal. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you came from and so forth.
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm one of 3 on the team that are from there. Me, J. Law, and Mason all played high school together. Their senior year, my sophomore year. I've known Mason since I was 9 years old.
Wow. What was it like as a 9-year-old?
He had a pet chameleon, which was pretty mesmerizing.
Now, probably at that point, if you're interested in basketball, it wasn't so much Mason. It was like, what? Your dad is Mike Miller?
Yeah. We used to have AAU practice in their house back then.
Wow, how cool is that?
Yeah.
How cool is that? So recently decided you're going to redshirt.
Yes, sir.
So when that happened, how did you feel about that?
I mean, I felt good about it. I mean, I still get to go against Kalk every day. I mean, I don't think we'll play many people better than him in the country, so going against him every day will be just like playing in a game against some of these other big guys in the Big East.
I've seen you in practice, and for people that haven't been next to Brock, he's a big dude. Okay, he's not a small guy for a freshman.
Gronk.
Yeah, Gronk. Josh calls him Gronk. Yeah. And I see you at practice some days, and I'm like, man, I hope Brock doesn't get frustrated because you're going against Kalk, and the next thing you know, you're going against Fred. And it's like, man, those two have got to be just wear people down. I think like tonight in the game for Florida A&M, their big guy finally just kind of got wore down going against the two of them. Right. How is it like going against those two every day?
Oh, it's a challenge every day. I mean, when we're on scout team and I'm playing as someone like for tonight, I was playing as number 13 and 24 all week, and just going against them and having to post them up on the block because they did a lot of post-entry stuff. It's just difficult. It's just hard on the body every day. It's a challenge.
So what do you look at as you know now you're, okay, I'm going to redshirt. Obviously going to do a lot of scout team stuff.
Right.
What do you look at as far as self-improvement through this whole year?
I mean, I think I need to get just in better shape than I am now and just get stronger and just be a little bit better on the defensive side, be a little bit quicker.
Because, next year, obviously, it'll be Fred and you, right?
Yes, sir.
So how about offensively? What are you looking for?
I need to make sure my three-pointer is just a knockdown and get better in the paint, just around the rim, finishing.
How do you feel you are as a three-point shooter?
I feel like I'm okay right now. I need to improve it. My percentages haven't been good over the last few scrimmages we've had in practice and just practice in general.
Of the 3 big guys, who's the best three-point shooter?
Keep it real.
Me. It's me.
Me?
Yes.
You can beat Kalk?
Yes.
Yeah, so Kalk's got to step it up then.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's good.
What about your handles?
I mean, our offense, use handles, but, like, it's nothing, like, really crazy. I'm not going to go ISO somebody. I'm just going to dribble into a ball screen or dribble handoff. So, I'd improve those if I want to play at the next level, but I'll probably keep working on that too.
Your dad's a football coach, right?
Yes, sir.
What made you say basketball?
In 8th grade, or not 8th grade.
He was yelling at you.
Nah, in middle school, I started about 6 foot, and I was playing all 3, basketball, baseball, and football. And by the time I graduated middle school, I was 6'8", and that's when I was kind of like putting the football away a little bit and focusing more on basketball.
Plus, are you kidding me? He got to go play basketball at Mike Miller's house. Okay? He didn't play football at Mike Miller's house. He played basketball at Mike Miller's.
So tell me this. Talk about tonight. I mean, you guys look great. Everybody can shoot. Everybody did well in what they did. I mean, obviously, you got things you can take away and critique.
Right.
But what's your vibe of the team?
So we had our close scrimmage against Iowa State, and our bench energy wasn't the greatest, and that film session was not fun for us bench guys. Coach,
hey, check this out. I already know. Can you imagine running up and down, and he stops it, and he says, "Look at the bench."
Yeah, he did. That's exactly what he did, and it was not good for us. And I was like, "Oh no!" So
were you one not cheering?
It was all of us. All of us were sitting there. No, but we've came up with a name for ourselves, the Courtside Crew.
Okay.
And our goal is to not have anyone sitting down at any time.
Facts.
Nice. Even when the ref goes.
Yeah, that's the only time we sit.
I've never understood that. The action is at the other end of the court, and this official's worry about 2 guys standing up on the bench. It drives me nuts. Like, focus on the game, dude. They're all right. They're going to be all right.
Hey,
Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry. Talk about just what you think from your guys from Memphis, J. Law, and you got Mason, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talk about like playing with them now and how you think they've come along so far.
I mean, it's just completely different. Mason he's just improved his game overall in all aspects since high school. And then J. Law, he kind of changed his game a little bit since high school. He was more of a combo guard in high school. Now he's kind of more of a spot up, which, I mean, he fits perfectly in our offense here. But he's definitely improved his jump shot over the years for sure.
He played the 2 or the 3?
Him and Mason played the 2 and the 3 interchangeable in high school.
Man. Y'all undefeated?
We lost to who we lose to? We lost to Milton in Georgia, IMG, and then Christian Brothers in Memphis.
Well, IMG, that's no that's no fault to lose to them. So what time you got class tomorrow?
9:30.
Oh, well, it's not too bad.
No, not that bad at all.
What time's practice tomorrow?
We're off tomorrow.
We're off tomorrow? Well, there you go. You got a nice, easy day.
Yes, sir.
Do you go do lifting tomorrow or anything?
Everyone's off.
Everyone's
yes,
off? Well, that's nice. Yep. Nice break before the big stretch here of North Dakota State and Iowa.
Yes, sir.
Are you kind of looking forward to Iowa when – now, Saturday, I think there's going to be a bigger crowd than tonight. Because tonight, 8 o'clock,
Guaranteed.
first game of the year.
Right.
And then the Iowa game is going to be nuts.
Yeah,
it's going to be packed because there's a lot of Iowa fans on the border here. Are you looking forward to seeing CHI full and screaming?
I mean, I've heard a lot about it, and I was never here for like a Big East game during the recruiting process because mine was late.
Crazy.
I committed late, so I've never been to like a packed CHI event yet. So.
Well, Iowa will be pretty close. It'll be pretty close. Well, Brock, we'll let you go because we know you got school. Thanks for joining us.
Sir,
Appreciate it, man.
Sorry, my voice sucks.
It's all good.
All right, and as I said, that segment was sponsored by CareMinders Home Care. Home care for injured, ill, or senior loved one is something you probably don't think about until the need arises. In speaking with Jim over there at CareMinders, Jim's a huge Jays fan, by the way. He said people don't reach out to us until they need our services ASAP. But, that's why your first call should be to CareMinders, as their highly trained professionals are waiting to serve you and take care of your needs. You can give them a call today, 402-532-1383. Not ready for the services? No worries. Just check out all that they can offer by going to the website, caremindersnebraska.com. That's CareMinders Home Care, our title sponsor. I want to thank Jim and the crew over there so much for that. Brock's a great guy to talk to, man.
He is. Every time I see him.
That's a great story. Like, can you imagine as a kid going over to like an NBA player's house? Like, that'd be crazy.
I still wonder what it would be like if he put on football pads.
Yeah. He'd have to be a tight end, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
No.
He can be Travis Kelce.
Hey, some more stuff that happened tonight, okay? 29 consecutive wins in home openers.
Okay.
So that
makes me feel good.
30 years, man. Yeah, that includes you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Although, come on. Dana had some cupcake cities to start off the year.
Yes.
Baylor Schreierman. How many games do you think he's hit a three-pointer in a row?
Dang. Quick guess. 15.
15?
Yeah.
How about 48?
Dang. Why I say 15? Put some respect on his name.
Yeah.
My bad, Baylor.
How about Stephen Ashworth? How many in a row do you think he's made?
2. As a Blue Jay. As a Blue Jay.
Well, the exhibition game doesn't count. Well, no, tonight counts.
Okay, if you want to count where he came from.
Yes.
He shot probably, I'd give him about 60.
Well, no, not quite that much.
Dang.
But there's 19 in a row.
Dang, I try to,
19 in a row. Yeah, you were off on both sides.
Who's the best shooter that's a guard on the team?
Well, Steven is. But I'll tell you what. Again, like we were talking with Lucas, Trey just looks so smooth out there.
I know. It's almost.
And when he gets into that 10-foot range, it's just like, I just want to shout, it's over.
Exactly.
Just all the other team just go under the basket, wait for the ball to come through the net, and head down the foot. Because it's over.
I'm kind of jealous of him, man.
Why is that?
I used to try to shoot that.
That fadeaway?
And we weren't there yet as a team. And, I was a pioneer. And now Trey, Marcus Foster, I can name a list of the players that play for Coach Mack that's shooting shots that I'm born to shoot.
Wow.
But you're right, man. I mean, Trey, like.
People don't realize.
Yeah.
First of all, people don't realize Trey makes it look so easy. That's not the easiest shot in the world.
It's a lost art, and he's perfected it. And that's what's going to make him have that extra, so to speak. There's going to be games where there's nobody scoring, and he's just going to create his own shot.
Yeah.
It's almost look like a fadeaway.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Crazy. He's so good at that shot.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just marvel, you were talking about the best shooters. Ashworth, like, how many times that ball goes through net doesn't hit rim?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he just has – that ball has the perfect – I would like to do, like, have a camera in the ball.
Yeah.
And watch it, like, the perfect rotation. It just looks like it's floating out there forever.
So I was thinking about something. I'm excited for the fact we'll play these games. Nobody's ever going to have probably Steph Curry. I mean, shooting as high as percentage he does. But sometimes we'll have a player with those slumps, like a Farabello. You got Josiah Dozier. If Josiah Dozier doesn't do the job, you got Trey. You have somebody across the board. The bench is nice. I feel like we have a complete team.
And there's going to be nights when Kalk takes over inside.
Exactly.
And gets his fair share.
How many threes do you think he'll shoot this year?
I think it'll be 40.
Yeah, I thought about. I
mean, so let's say we have 32-ish games.
Right.
At least one a game.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and he might, if he gets hot, he might pump up a couple more.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, and as real fans, I think it's cool. Nobody's really like jacked up like, oh man, we scored 100. That's cool. We're really looking towards preparing for these games that are coming up.
Yeah, I think Mac was just looking for execution. I thought the execution, for the most part, was pretty well. Even as A&M, when I go to practice, I see a lot of these sets they're running.
Exactly.
A&M tried to take a lot of those away. And yet we had an answer every time.
Exactly.
That was the most impressive.
Exactly.
If you haven't heard, it was 105-54. Trey Alexander with 20 points tonight.
I thought he had like 15.
Yeah, and he had it in 26 minutes. Stephen Ashworth, better yet, 17 points in 18 minutes.
Wow.
Hit 5 3-pointers.
How many assists?
I don't have that in front of me. I don't have the full stats yet. I just have a breakdown.
Wow.
Baylor Schreiman had 15, and then Isaac Trout with 12 points.
I know he was hooping.
Yeah.
I like him. He plays hard.
He had 3 threes as well.
He plays hard.
I think we shot like 40. We shot 55% overall from the floor and like 43 from 3, something like that. So
what do? We got an off night. Like, I know Lucas was saying we'll go to Trey, but can you see Shireman penetrating more this year?
I think he tried to tonight.
Yeah.
And he's looking to dish too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If teams are just if we're gonna penetrate and they're not gonna collapse, then we've got Schreierman and Trey that can take it one-on-one inside.
Yeah, Josiah can do it a little bit.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing about Steven, I think Steven, there was times tonight Steven would have gone to the hole. Now he's a little smaller, obviously, but
sure.
He would have gone to the hole, but he felt he had a better option stopping in that 10-foot range and finding somebody wide open because the defense was kind of sucking back down toward him.
I'm excited.
And then you talked earlier about, if Jason Green gets healthy, he's a guy that might be able to drive it in. We want Mason to do some of that as well.
Yeah.
We saw Jonathan Lawson, a little peek of that tonight as well.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of options. And, I think that's the question, Josh. Like you nailed it. What's going to happen on a night when we're on the road, you don't shoot as well on the road, and the shots aren't dropping? What's going to happen then? Well, I think we're going to see. We're going to rely a lot on Kalk and then, guys like Trey taking it to the hole in Baylor. So
I think we're good as advertised.
I think we are.
I know it's 2 games, but just watching the players, being at those practices, I think we are.
Yeah, absolutely. Those stats were sponsored by BluejayBanter.com. Bluejay Banter is the #1 site for diehard Creighton fans. Several reasons why. One, it's part of the Rivals Network, so you get the best recruiting experts in the country to tell you all about the recruiting game plan for Creighton and around the country. We keep you informed. We talk with the coaches. We talk with recruiters around the country. We talk with scouts, and we'll get you inside access to what's going on in the recruiting. It's a fantastic and active message board as well, where you get to communicate with Jays fans, not only here in Omaha, but all across the country. And it's always fun to talk to guys who can only watch the games on TV, and how excited they are about the season. We got inside access, as I've talked about, going to practices and talking with the coaches about inside access and information about the program. And as a member, you get information on all the sports, including volleyball, who's red hot right now after their sweep over Marquette. The women's basketball team that's ranked in the country as well. So go sign up today. Go to bluejaybanter.com for more details on how to sign up. Our next show will be Saturday, right after the game. Josh and I will be here about 15 minutes after the conclusion of the Creighton, North Dakota State game. So make sure, there's a couple ways you can watch. You can go to our YouTube channel, Bluejay Banter, and you can watch the show live right there. You can come down here to Let It Fly, ask your server for one of the headsets. They'll pop it on for you. And then the other thing, if you miss it, hey, no problem. Just go to YouTube later on, pop up the Bluejay Banter YouTube channel, and you will see our show right there. And remember to subscribe and like, as it helps us out so much. So we want to thank everybody. I want to thank our producer, Val and Zach. Awesome job. We want to thank Brock Weiss and Lucas Vargas for joining us. And we will see you with a player and a coach after the game right here Saturday. Good night, everybody.